guys, what's going on? It's DJ here bringing you another weekly recap of a TV show. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash. Last night's episode was called Plastique. It was awesome, and let's get to recapping it and talking about it. So last night we were introduced to the character of Plastique, or Bet Sansusi. I'll just call it Sansusi or Plastique because I like the way that sounds. Sansusi is just such a fun word to say, or a fun name to say. We meet her at the very beginning of the episode stealing something. Barry rushed out to see what was happening, and they figured out that the blast was created by something that wasn't a bomb. There's no traces of any sort of device that could have done it. Halfway through the episode, Barry catches Bet, and she actually touches his suit that he runs out of, because anything that Plastique touches, basically, she emits explosive force. So when she touches you, you gotta take whatever's on yourself off because it'll explode. Pretty much what her power is, and she is basically a walking nuclear bomb. When Barry brought her back to the facility to be tested by Cisco and Caitlin and Dr. Wells, all the while they're doing that, trying to protect her, trying to treat her. There's a general out looking for her, and his name is General Eiling, and he's actually connected to Dr. Wells back when they're creating powers that have to do with telepathy. And I'll talk to you guys about that at the end because there's a major spoiler. Everything that Dr. Wells has done is just super shady. Anyways, getting back to Plastique, Barry's trying to juggle a lot of things all at once. He's trying to help Plastique master her abilities and use it for good, like he's using his speed to save people. And he really wants to convince Caitlin and Cisco and Dr. Wells that, but they think that she's too dangerous. They think that they should let her go or lock her up like the rest of the metahumans that they have already caught. But Barry really wants to help her because he's like, what if that was me? It could have been me that was going rogue. You know, she hasn't really done anything wrong. She's just on the run, and she doesn't want to touch anybody because she doesn't want to hurt anybody. I like how Barry was trying to do that. He was also trying to he was struggling with telling Iris the truth about him, and I thought that was pretty cool how he went to actually meet her as the Streak, and how she saw him at the very beginning run up the building and then run back down and save the guy's life. I thought that was cool, and he was moving his face all fast so that she couldn't recognize him. It was also cool and funny when he showed Joe how he could change his voice box and kind of like reverb it and make it a little bit deeper by shifting it. I thought that was pretty cool. We're starting to see that speed is not the only thing that came with Barry's powers. He could pretty much manipulate all the things that he could do with his body because of the speed, so it gives him these other abilities. So I thought that was pretty cool. As for Iris, I think she's gonna keep writing about it. She seemed like she was about to shut down her blog site because of her talking to Barry. Yeah, getting back to Bet, she's still on the run from Eiling, General Eiling, who, like I said, has ties to Dr. Wells, and they try to hide her. And then Dr. Wells does something pretty shady, and he kind of just has this moment with Plastique, and he tells her the only way you're going to be able to be free is if you take care of the problem yourself, implying that he wants her to go and take out Eiling and his whole entire crew. So that's what she goes and does, and Barry, in the nick of time, gets there before she's able to do something really stupid. That's something that she was going to regret, but with that, she actually gets shot and killed by Eiling, and that's what I probably didn't like about the episode, is that she died already. I was kind of hoping that she would stick around for a while at least. I was hoping that she would probably become part of the team like Barry was saying, but it doesn't look like that's how it's gonna go, because she got shot, her body like emitted this purple radiation, I guess you could say, and he had to carry her out of the blast radius of the city and drop her in the middle of the ocean, and he outran the blast, and she basically died. And I thought that was sad because that's another person Barry hasn't been able to save in these last few episodes. And he was somebody that could really add it to the team, but in the comics, I believe that Plastique is part of the Suicide Squad, so she doesn't really end up as a good guy. She kind of goes rogue. Yeah, it's sad that she died. It's sad that Barry, everything seems to have been lost from him, and he's really trying to fight to get it back, but he can't because everything's his way. Despite being the fastest man alive, he still has a lot of problems, and I love how every episode ends with him kind of just running from his problems. I also find it hilarious how they put those little parts of laughter, whether it be with Cisco or with Barry himself. Like last night they added the part where he just can't get drunk because his metabolism burns up the alcohol so fast. So when Felicity gave him a specially made vial of alcohol that was concentrated, and he drank it, and he was drunk for like a second, and he's like, oh, went away. I thought that was pretty funny because it adds light to a very dark situation that Barry seems to always face after every episode. They lost Plastique. He might have just lost his friendship with Iris because he's trying to protect her. He's not wanting to tell her the truth because he knows if he does, she might get into trouble or she might get hurt, and he doesn't want that. So last night's episode was pretty awesome. Action-packed. It had a lot of emotion in it. I can't wait for next week. Oh, next week is going to be the dude that's kind of like Colossus, the preview that I saw. He basically turns his whole body to steel. And I think that's going to be pretty cool to see how Barry matches up to somebody with super strength. It's really going to test his limits. And as far as the ending of the episode, it flashed back 5 years to when Eiling and Dr. Wells were partners and developing telepathic abilities. And he tells Eiling to get out. He doesn't want to put more pain on the patient that they're testing it on. It turns out the person that they're testing it on is Gorilla Grodd, and obviously everybody knows that that's Barry Allen's arch nemesis. So I don't think that they're gonna be butting heads quite this early. They'll probably wait another season or so. I give it 5 stars. I think it was freaking awesome. I cannot wait to see what else this season brings. I'm hoping that they bring in Professor Zoom at one point. That's somebody I'm really looking into, and there's a character that's already around that already is signifying that he is there, but he's not there yet, or he's not Zoom yet. I'll leave that to you guys to kind of figure out. But I'd like to hear your opinions on what you think so far, and like always, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!